Hey guys, it's Bina, and this is going to be my final video before the season starts. We are Wednesday, 9 p.m. Season starts tomorrow, supposedly at 1 p.m. So Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This is my last video for you guys, which I'm going to be covering what I will be doing at the very start of the season 1 so that I can get to level 100 as fast as possible on the Druid, and how I'm going to be able to compete with rogues, hopefully, to reach 100 as fast as possible. So let's go straight into it. I've already done a video about this. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If not, this is like a kind of like a update video as to what I'm going to be doing. So because we're going to be getting the shockwave aspect for pulverize in the chapter 2 of the season journey, so this changes my plan dramatically. I'm still going to be starting out with lightning storm, so pretty much my build from lightning storm has been pretty much unchanged. I just remove all of the aspects because we won't be going for any of those aspects anymore. We are going to be pairing with the spirit boon, the second one here, because that's what we're going to be using for our pulverize build. But basically, we start out lightning storm level 1. So you start out here. You basically start out here, right? And you level up your first few levels. Wind shear up to wind shear gives you movement speed so that you'll be able to go fast. So, and then you put all of your planes in lightning storm, and enhanced lightning storm is very important. So your first 2 points, don't max out lightning storm right away. Make sure to put points into at least enhanced lightning storm so that it can preserve the size of your lightning storm that you're channeling for 6 seconds after channeling. So put point in here, max out lightning storm, and then after this you should be able to grab 1 point in blood howl and 1 point in poison creeper. And then after this you can come back and put point into blood howl so that it generates spirit for you, and then put the point into poison creeper, increase the duration of the poison creeper. Poison creeper is super good early game. It will basically remove half of the health of the elite, and yeah, it's just really good. It's really powerful early game and really bad in the late game. But we'll also be getting a new aspect that will make poison creeper cast landslides all around. So that might be good early on as well, because we're gonna get that in the season journey as well. So yeah, be on the lookout for this. But like, I don't plan on using this as my leveling build. But yeah, be on the lookout. It could be like a nice little bonus when we're using poison creeper. And then a couple of changes I made in here. So elemental exposure to go to electric shock. So basically we're trying to make enemies vulnerable as much as possible. And then when dealing lightning damage to enemies that are immobilized, the lightning damage is increased to 18% instead. So we're going, instead of going for a 6 lightning storm, we're going to go for the chance to immobilize for 12%. This is not a lucky hit. This is just a flat 12% chance to immobilize for 3 seconds. So we should be getting that 18% quite a good amount of time. Points to trample. They buff trample to grant us even more spirit. So this is going to be movement again with spirit generation. We're going to go into defiance for even more damage. Circle of life because we're hardcore and want to heal. So it's going to be like a very good healing for our build. And resonance, so nature magic skills deal even more damage. Here we go for Ursine strength in our ultimate ability, because we want the second half of it. While healthy, you deal 30% increased damage. This is multiplicative, and this does work even though you don't use werebear form. But we will be able to utilize the 20% additional maximum life because we're using trample once in a while. So after using trample, you will have that 20% life, and then if we're healthy as well, we'll have 30% increased damage. So nothing really changes too much. I don't have any Paragon points in here because we're only going to use this build up until level, I'd say up until level maybe 20 something, 25, 30, and then you want to go and look for your basically for your all of your aspects that you can get with your codex basically. So what we're going to be using, we're going to be using pulverize, and we're going to be using a pulverized version that switch between human and bear form so that we gain massive bonuses to damage while using this, and then we also get spirit, and it's just like, it has many benefits from it, and you don't need any uniques to do this. It feels pretty good. I've just tested this again, and yeah, this is absolutely what I'm going to be using as soon as we switch before doing the capstone dungeon. So I will be doing the capstone dungeon with this version, and here it is. Here it is what I will use. As for my helmet, I will use when you have fortify, your earth skills gain +2 ranks. What this does, when you have fortify, means as soon as you have like even a tiny little bit of fortify, this will apply to your skill, and it basically gives you +2 ranks. So it's quite a bit of base damage for your skill. For my chest piece here, I decided to go with damage from earth skills slows enemies. For my gloves, I decided to go with core skills, deal up to 40% increased damage based on your amount of fortify. Earthen bulwark duration increased, and then when you do kills, it replenishes your active bulwark. So this will allow us to be way more tanky and our overpower to deal more damage because we'll have a barrier. While unstoppable, and for 4 seconds after, you gain movement speed and move freely through enemies. So you have like kind of phasing, and then you also get some movement speed because we want to go fast to 100. I left my weapon as a yellow because basically I'll be changing my weapon over and over again, and I don't want to put my shockwave aspect on this because I will be changing it like every so often. So yeah, until I get a pretty good weapon above 725 item power, which is going to be pretty like a lot later in the run, I won't be putting anything here. My pulverize aspect is going to go on the necklace, and both of my rings. One is going to be pulverize now, also an earth skill, and it will this will allow us to synergize pulverize with earth and restore your primary resource when you crowd control an enemy, so that we can have even more sustain with our pulverize. This one I'm not quite sure I'll keep for for a very long time. I think the shape shifting version of pulverize does keep its primary resource fairly healthy. So we'll see about this one. But yeah, that's what I decided to go for at the very, very start. So we have Trample here. We have Blood Howl for the healing and also generating spirit. We have Poison Creeper for immobilizing and getting 20% increased crit against enemies that are immobilized. Earthen Bulwark for our survivability. Storm Strike for our survivability and applying vulnerable. And then Pulverize as our main damage source, and they will also have the enemies deal 20% reduced damage for 4 seconds when we hit them with Pulverize. For our boons, I go for damage reduction from Elite, attack speed, and maximum life here. In this one, you can go for pretty much anything. Keep in mind that Avian Rat is additive and not multiplicative crit damage, but still early on, it's a fairly good amount of crit. Bolster for Fortify when used defensive skill. This is going to be one of my main source of fortification. And then Masochistic. Early on, I might go Obsidian Slam, but I think as I level up, I will probably switch to Masochistic just to get the healing. Even though Masochistic was nerfed, I do want to stay as healthy as possible at all times. So we'll see how this feels. So for the skill tree, we go Storm Strike into Enhanced Storm Strike to immobilize, and then you go with Vulnerable here. So Vulnerable, as we know, is a separate damage bucket, and it's pretty much mandatory if you want to increase your damage dramatically. Pulverize into the damage reduction when enemies are hit by Pulverize. We go down here. You get the crit chance against close enemies. Actually, this one, I'm just going to put the remaining of my 2 points there for the 6% chance, crit chance to crit close enemies, and the 9% damage reduction while in a werebear form. So we're pretty much always going to have this damage reduction, always going to have this damage reduction, this one here, as we're going to be playing hardcore, so it's going to be, we're going to need a lot of damage reduction to stay alive. Earthen Bulwark here, and Earthen Bulwark will fortify us. So we go with Blood Howl for healing and generating spirit. We go for Poison Creeper, and then 20% crit chance against enemies strangled by Poison Creeper. This is going to be very powerful. So for example, on single target, you want to crit more, or yeah, big packs of elites and that you really want to crit, make sure to use this. It immobilizes all of them. You can basically you can move towards a better position where you can hit them all with your pulverize, and then you will probably crit. Clarity is pretty important. You gain 6 spirit when transforming to human form. So basically, each time you storm strike, you'll be transforming into human form, which will generate spirit because of the storm strike, which is 14. And with this, you'll be able to generate 20 spirit. So it is a very, very good way to sustain spamming pulverize. So going down here in the rat skills, we go with Trample, and then Trample also grants Spirit. We go with Crushing Earth to deal more damage to enemies that are slowed, stunned, immobilized, or knocked back. And because we have Earth skill slows, we're going to be benefiting from this all the time. When you have Fortify over 50% of your maximum life, which is pretty much all the time, your Earth skill is even more damage, and then your crit strikes will fortify you. I put 1 point here just to be able to like sustain my Fortify. As you play, as you go, you might want to remove this. We'll see about that. Nature Magic skill, deal 12% increased damage to elites. So because we're transferring our Pulverize, which is a Werebear skill, into an Earth skill, the Earth skill is also Nature Magic. So Nature Magic will benefit your Pulverize. So that's why we take this here. Circle of Life, every time we will use Storm Strike, we'll be healing 3%. So that's another source of healing. Nature Magic skills deal 6% increased damage, and you triple this bonus if an Earth skill is the next skill after a Storm skill. So basically, we're going to be always getting 18% increased damage to our Pulverize, since we're going to be weaving 1-time Storm Strike, 1-time Pulverize. So this is a very, very big damage buff. And then your Earth skill deals 12% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, again, just for more damage. Here it's pretty interesting. Quick Shift, when shapeshifting a skill transferring into a different form, it deals 15% increased damage. Again, 15%, because we're always weaving between human and werebear form, we're going to be dealing a lot of damage with this. You gain damage reduction when you shapeshift into a werebear, and then also shapeshifting fortifies you. So as you see, I stack a couple sources of fortify. I'll see how it feels and how it goes from there, but this is my initial thought on what I will be running tomorrow. And for our ultimate, Ursine Strength, you gain 20% maximum life, so more tankiness. And then while we are healthy, we're getting 30% increased damage. So as you notice, I don't go for Grizzly Rage and I don't go for Earth and Might. This is all planned, and maybe later on, if I get some really good gear, like in a higher level, I might switch to the Grizzly Rage version, or I might switch to the Earth and Might version. But for now, for the starter, I'm going Ursine Strength for sure. In my Paragon board, I'm starting out with Exploit here. So you start out, you won't, like, at the very start, you won't be able to level up glyphs very fast because you're going to be running Nightmare Dungeons very low. So I just went and put the level 1 version here. So you will go Exploit. You will go right into here for the maximum Spirit and Spirit on Kill. The Spirit on Kill is very important. This will make you able to sustain Pulverize even more. Ancestral Guidance, after spending 75 Spirit, you deal 30% increased damage. We pretty much have this all the time. Here, I put Werebear. So you deal increased damage while in Werebear form. You gain damage reduction while in Werebear form. You can switch this to something else, like maybe Shapeshifter, or like there are other ones. But anyways, this is just my initial thought right now that I decided to go for. And then there are 2 other boards that I want to go to: Survival Instincts and Earthen Devastation. So these are my two boards I'm going to go afterwards. So this one basically is like an execute. So as your life total, you should be full health. As you go through the enemy's health, if he's at 50% health, you will deal basically 50% more damage to the enemy. So as he gets lower, you deal more and more damage to him. So this is pretty good for us. And then we go to this one here, Earthen Devastation. You deal 30% increased damage to enemies afflicted by crowd control, and we will be slowing them all the time. So you'll always have this damage. So this is my starter boards, and this is like my starter skill tree that I'm going to be going for. And yeah, I'm going to be switching to this as soon as possible, actually. Like as soon as I'm able to like get all the aspects from all the dungeons around, which should be around level 25 to 30, I believe, because I think level 28 is the I think level 28 or 38 is the level that you can unlock a certain dungeon to get this one here. Pulverize, now also an Earth skill. So as soon as I get this, I switch to Pulverize and I blast my way to World Tier 3 and then World Tier 4, and then hopefully by then I will have found my Tempest Roar and I'll be blasting. So this is my early leveling, early strategy for Druid, and I hope you guys have a great Season 1. I will now go to bed, have a good night rest, and finally tomorrow it's the start of the race. See you on Twitch. I'll be streaming twitch.tv/Benasol, and I hope to see you there. Thank you guys.